Hi everyone, in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you the Christmas books that we're going to be using for the month of December, as well as the unit study that we're going to be doing for the month. This video is a collaboration that I am hosting. I have invited several other YouTube mama friends here to be part of this collaboration. So when you're done watching this video, be sure to check out the playlist down in the description below to check out everyone else's videos. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Emily, and on this channel I share all things motherhood, homeschool, clean living, and faith. So if any of that interests you, be sure to hit that subscribe button below and click that little bell icon on the side so that you get notifications for whenever I post new videos. You can also check me out on Instagram at A Woman on a Journey blog, and you can visit my blog at awomanonajourney.com. So I'm going to start off by showing you the books that we're going to be using. And some of these books are books that we had from last year. So those are the first ones I'm going to show you. And then I will show you after that some of the new ones that we did get. The first book I'm going to share with you is called Mortimer's Christmas Manger. Now, this is a really cute book. It's about a mouse who lives in the house and he's noticed something different going on. And when he checks it out, he sees there's this Christmas tree. There's all these little things hanging on it, and he crawls up the side table and he finds a manger with all these people inside of it. So what Mortimer decides to do is take everyone out of the manger. He drags them all out and he takes baby Jesus out of the bed, and he considers it to be a home for himself. So he's happy, he falls asleep. The next day, he goes ahead and wanders in the house. And when he comes back, everything is back in the manger again. So it's just a fun, cute little story. And by the time it's Christmas Eve, he's listening to the family tell the story about Christmas and Jesus. And it's just a really cute story how the mouse himself learns about Jesus and he realizes, oh, this house is not for me, it's for Jesus. This is where Jesus was born, and this is just a representation of the story. So he goes ahead and he basically respects it now. And so it's just a really cute, fun story, and we really liked this one last year. So the other book we really liked last year was called The Legends of Christmas Treasury. So this actually has 3 stories in it. You have the Legend of St. Nicholas, the Legend of the Candy Cane, and the Legend of the Christmas Cookie. So I really like this book. I love how it really tells the story of how St. Nicholas came about, but it also tells the story about giving. It tells a representation of how the candy cane came about and what it was supposed to represent. And it also explains what the Christmas cookie is and how Christmas cookies became a thing. So this is just really fun stories, and I love how in some of these stories they actually represent, they talk about Jesus, they talk about the real story of Christmas. I really like the pictures too. I really like this, and I definitely recommend, if not getting one of these individual books, you can get the Treasury that has all 3 of them in it. The next book that we have is called Construction Site on Christmas Night. And what this book is about is down in the big construction site, there's work to do for Christmas night. The mighty construction trucks are busy building a very special gift in time for Christmas Eve. But there's a surprise waiting for each of them too. Excavator, bulldozer, crane truck, dump truck, and cement mixer all receive a special present as each truck finishes their part of this big, important job and rolls off to a sweet and sleepy good night. This is just a fun book to have, especially if your child's into anything construction. The next one is 25 Days of the Christmas Story, and this is a family kind of devotional study, and so we're going to be doing this as a family. We got through some of it last year, but we didn't stay completely committed to it, and so I definitely would like to do that this year. And basically, the family devotional helps kids and parents engage with the Christmas story in a unique way. One person, place, or part of the Christmas story at a time. From the prophet Isaiah to baby Jesus to the gift of frankincense, all devotions take you on a chronological journey with an easy-to-read story, character trait, family activity, and more. Simply read each day's story or go deeper with the additional features. This gift book also includes pages in the back to record fun memories and sweet moments to look back on. With 25 days of the Christmas story, your family is sure to enjoy celebrating the season of Advent together year after year. As you can see, it goes through different people in the Bible. It does have the character traits like it said, and it also has a family activity, some questions. And so this is definitely something that like I said, I want to stay committed to doing this year, and I just think that it'll be fun for us to do as a family. We do family devotionals every night before my son goes to bed, and so we should actually almost be done with it for the month of November with the book that we've been using, and so it'll be a perfect transition to just go into this December 1st. The next books that I'm going to share with you are the newer books that we did get. The next one is the Sparkle Box. This is supposed to be, if you're not familiar with it, I'm sure many of you might be, but if you're not, it's supposed to be basically a story about how it's way more important to give than it is to receive. And you can see here that the pictures are really nice. I feel like pictures are just, they make me like books more. And so I really do like the pictures. From reading through it a little bit, it just really does seem like a beautiful story and just something wonderful that the boy learns about. And so in the end of this book, it does explain, like, will you put a sparkle box under your Christmas tree? And at the end, it does have a sparkle box, and it kind of goes into explaining what you can probably do with your sparkle box and how you kind of put it together and stuff. So I'm really excited to dive into this book, and I think it'll be great because my son is at that age where I think he can understand more as far as why giving is so much more important and why, you know, we celebrate the fact that Christ came and he gave himself to us, and the whole just meaning around it. And though this is not necessarily, from what I can see, it doesn't necessarily talk about Christ, but I do like the fact that it's just focusing on the purpose of giving. The next book is The Legend of the Christmas Stocking. Now, this is just like the Treasury book, Christmas Treasury book that I had showed you before, where it had the legend of St. Nicholas, the legend of the candy cane. This is the legend of the Christmas stocking. And so another one that I really wanted to find because I really liked the other one. So I thought we would definitely like this too. So this is basically, it says, this wonderful Christmas tale set in the early 1800s shares the touching story of a young boy named Peter. He sells newspapers to help his family while his father is away at sea. And he's been saving a bit of his earnings to buy a model schooner in the woodworker's shop. But after Uncle Jim, the woodworker, tells him the story of St. Nicholas, Peter discovers the meaning behind the hanging and filling of Christmas stockings and learns a heartfelt lesson in kindness and generosity. Filled with the rich, realistic illustrations of Jim Griffin, children ages 4 to 8 will discover the depth of God's love shown through others as they learn the Christmas meaning revealed in the legend of the Christmas stocking. So like the other stories, I'm pretty sure from reading this that this is going to be just as good as the other ones. So the next book is A Simple Christmas on the Farm. It says, we're keeping things simple this year for Christmas on the farm. Everyone's invited to Christmas in the Little Red Barn in this celebration of the simple pleasures of family, community, and making things by hand. What I liked about glancing through this book was I really have been focusing on teaching my son about how we don't need to do anything big and extravagant. While things are, while being able to do things obviously is great, we can enjoy the simple things that we've been blessed with. And so I thought that this was the perfect thing. And I know that he loves anything that we do as a family when it comes to whether it's decorating the tree, making cookies, making anything together, really, any kind of crafts. And so I felt like this was definitely relatable in some sense. And so I'm really excited to go through this book. I think that the pictures are beautiful, and I think it's just going to be definitely a great read. The last book that I want to share with you guys before I go into what we're going to do as far as our Christmas unit study and the activities that we're going to do surrounding around Christmas and that unit is The Secret of the Hidden Scrolls. This is book 7, The King is Born. If you've been around my channel for a little bit, you might have seen my read aloud video, and I spoke about this book. We have been loving this series, and we are currently in book 5, but by the time we get closer to December, we will be up to being able to go through book 7. And so it's just one of those books that, even though it's a chapter book, it is a book that my son has been loving. If you don't know, he's actually about to turn 6. And so it's actually an easy book for young kids to listen to and engage with. And there are parts throughout the book that do have pictures. And so he has really been loving it. And he really doesn't have to be busy when I'm reading this book. He's perfectly fine curling up on the couch with me and listening to it. And I don't know if he just imagines what's going on or anything like that. But this is definitely a great chapter book for younger kids, but it's also great for if you have kids, 8, 10 years old as well. We did do the Gather Round Christmas unit last year. We loved it. It was great. It was a little bit lengthy for my son for that time, for his age, and just for his focus, but we modified it and we made it work, and it was just really great, and I loved it. I love everything that Rebecca Spooner does and just her heart behind it. And she did come out with a new Christmas unit this year as well. Her Christmas unit from last year is still available to purchase as well, but I decided to go a different route. I wanted to check out something new, and I have been eyeing Campfire curriculum for a little bit now. They do have a video on YouTube explaining how this curriculum works and the different levels. There is an early learner, there is a growing, and there is an advanced. And so I believe the way it goes, and this is only for this unit. I know that their other units are more, I think they have 5 versions of every one of their units, but when they have units like this, there's only about 3 different versions of it. So their early learner covers kindergarten to 2nd, and then their growing covers 3rd to 6th, and then advanced is 7th grade and up. So the way the curriculum works is you don't have a teacher's guide. Everything is implemented into the curriculum. However, if you do print out the early learner, which is what I did for my son, it does not have all the details or the stories in there. You would have to print out the growing or the advanced one if you have an early learner that you're working with, and that is the only child you're working with. If you're working with other children, then obviously you can print out all the other ones. But because my son is in 1st grade, I printed out the early learner. And what I really like about it is it's simple. And I'm going to give you here a quick flip through, just part of it. Like I said, there's a more in-depth flip through on Campfire Curriculum's YouTube channel. But you could see here that it goes ahead and has optional activities that you can do with your young learner. And it has all the items that you're going to need and the lesson associated with it. Then you have the table of contents, and it goes ahead and it just touches on what each lesson is going to cover. There's 12 lessons, and there are some lessons that the way they have it divided is that the lesson itself is only supposed to take about 30 minutes. If you decide to do the activities, then it does take a little bit longer. They do recommend that, especially when you're dealing with early learners, that you don't exceed the 30 minutes, just so that they're not overwhelmed and it's just not too much for them. So I really like that, because I do want to take things a little bit slower for the month of December, and I kind of want to just really enjoy the slow down and enjoy time together. And I am one that can get consumed with doing all the things, and so that is something that I think that this curriculum is going to help me a little bit with staying focused on that and not overdoing it. but just focusing on time together. So you could see here in the early learner that there is a pre-summary in lesson 1, and it has a note to the parents. And it's just basically telling you that before reading lesson 1, you should read the pre-summary to your early learner to just help them prepare for what they're about to learn. And then so it goes ahead and it does that. And you can see here that it has the activities, and they're very simple. So you can see here on this page, it explains how the Christmas unit already includes history, geography, social studies, critical thinking, and faith/Bible. So we will be taking a pause from our Bible curriculum, and we will be focusing this as our Bible and history curriculum all in one. And so those 2 subjects are going to be combined in here. It does have the optional core connections, which include language arts, science, and math. And it goes ahead to show you how you can implement those subjects into the unit as well. So if you're looking to take time off for the month of December or for just a couple weeks, and you still want to kind of incorporate some kind of language, science, or math in there, but you're not looking to do any of your main curriculum work, then this would definitely be a great option for you. You can see very quickly it goes into lesson 2, and you can see here the activities, the core connections once again, and then goes right into lesson 3. So with the early learner, there isn't a lot in here. It is just about 50 something pages. And when I printed this based on the instructions, you don't double-side this, you leave it as is. But with the other versions, you can do double-sided printing. And so this is the other binder that I have for I chose the growing to print out instead of the advanced because I felt like the advanced had a little bit of extra information in it that was not necessary for his age. So the growing, which covers 3rd to 6th grade, as far as the reading is concerned, this is what we're going to be using. The reading is the same in all of the curriculum versions. It's just that, like I said, there's just a little bit extra information that they add to the advanced that it would make more sense that a high schooler or middle schooler would understand it better. So what they do explain in the early learner is that you can mix and match any of the activities to go along with that. So if you have kids of multiple ages, they can all be included. Or if you just have a only child that you are working with and you want to do a little bit more, then you can also pull the activities from here. So you can see here that lesson 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 9, and 12 have a couple of different activities. And these are the same activities that the advanced learner has. Now they call these books journals versus guides. Whenever they mention journal, this is what they're talking about, just this whole printout. Then included in this is a couple of links. So you can go ahead and click on this according to that lesson if you wish. And then you have on the next page, it shows for week 1, you have the craft activity, you have a baking activity, and you have 2 games / hands-on learning. So you have the same thing for week 2 and week 3. So this is a 3-week mini unit. And so the way it works is they have 2 calendar options. You can do it as a 4-day school week. And so then you have lessons 1 through 4 going Monday through Thursday, and you continue that Monday through Thursday all the way to the 23rd. Or if you choose to do the 5-day school week, you can start the lessons on the first lesson on Thursday the 9th, and you would be done with it by the 24th, which is Christmas Eve. So I'm not sure we would go that long, but what we're going to do is actually we're going to start on December 1st, or that week of December 1st. I think December 1st is on a Wednesday. So we're going to start that Monday. And that way we can take our time. And if there's any days where the lessons, we end up not being able to finish the lesson, then at least that gives us time and we can go ahead and just continue the lesson the next day. So that's what we're going to personally be doing. Now, it does explain that you should read Luke chapter 1 before starting the unit so that your child understands the context of the story and just what the Bible is telling us, who Mary is, who Elizabeth is, and things like that. And so it goes ahead and tells you what lesson 1 is going to cover, 2 through 3, 4, 5, all the way up to 12. So here's everything that you're going to read before starting lesson 1. This unit is not just a homeschool unit. You can use this as a family, just something that you guys might want to do together in the evenings. And this could be your family devotional time. And so lesson 1 kind of starts off with asking December 25th is a date for what? So your child has to explain, without saying the name Christmas, what December 25th represents. What does it mean? And so that'll kind of be like a conversation starter. And then you'll go ahead and you'll read to them a little bit more. And then you have the optional activity here. And then it also has a link that will help you as a visual aid for this activity. So here, wherever you see this lamppost, this is your stopping point, and it will basically explain that this is the end of that lesson. Moving on, you do have lessons learned. And so this is basically a summary of everything that was learned here. And then you have journals. So they have the nice red bow for any of the girls that they could do their journaling here as far as what they learned, and any of their reflections, Bible reading, prayers, anything like that. And then for the boys, they have a more masculine looking version. And so they have this area that they can write in as well. At the top of some of the pages, you will see this here. And it's basically SYW means skip if you want. So these are just optional things that they've included that you can go ahead and do or not. And so right after that, you also have the song. So you have While Shepherds Watch Their Flock, and they give you the link to the YouTube video as well. Here you see the optional core connections for science, math, and then you'll see a nice picture that they can just color. This is basically, that was all the first unit. So that's why the reading itself and the learning aspect of it will take about 30 minutes, but everything additional will take a little bit longer depending on your child or the number of children you have. So just to keep that in mind of how this curriculum works. I know I gave you a little bit more information than I probably thought I was going to give you, but I just want you to be able to see here just all the different things that you can see. You have here the human ear, and it talks about the human ear. So I thought that was pretty cool, and how they implemented that and the science connection with that. So I'm curious as to how that is connected to that lesson. And then here you have music, and so you see the music notes and stuff. So I think this is going to be a fun curriculum. I'm going to take some pages out that don't necessarily apply to us because of my son's age and because of what we may have time to do. What I really do like about the curriculum too is the pictures are really beautiful, and I think that they really just stand out, and I love the vintage feel of it. I feel like that is one of my favorite things about this, is that it just really has a nice vintage feel. And so I think that this is definitely going to be something that we enjoy. So if you stuck around to the end, thank you so much. I know this video was longer than anticipated, but I hope that you got some options and that you learned something from this video, that it helped you in some way or form. And if it did, please give this video a thumbs up, as it does help me with my channel. And don't forget to check out the playlist, because I'm sure all the other moms have all sorts of books and resources, and just it's going to be exciting to see what they're going to be doing. And so I can't wait to check out their videos as well. So definitely check out the playlist down in the description, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye.